I want to understand what the hell a radical is,
Right.
in as simple terms as possible. You were generous enough to show me around your labs about a year and a half ago, maybe even 2 years ago now, and it's a phenomenal piece of kit and research, obviously. And you've been part of a big international project looking at free radicals. Could you give me the lowdown on what we're talking about here? Because it's certainly the first time I heard of it, and then I think unless you're into ambient air quality or chemistry, this may not be familiar to a lot of people.
So I mean, people would have heard about free radicals in the body, maybe. Okay. In a similar way, there are free radicals in the atmosphere, in the air. Free radicals are just basically very reactive, short-lived chemical species. From a chemistry point of view, they have an unpaired electron, and that electron wants to find another electron, right? And so it means that it's very reactive, it wants to make chemical bonds. All right, so it's very reactive. In the body, free radicals can do a nice job of mopping up some pollutants into the body. Too many free radicals can also be a problem, though, right? Because that can lead to some stress situations. In the atmosphere, it turns out that free radicals drive the chemistry of the troposphere, the lower part of the atmosphere, and in particular one called the hydroxyl radical. So this is water, but you remove one of the hydrogens basically, and you got the hydroxyl radical. And so this is a very short-lived species that is like a gas phase species. It's very reactive, and it's present in extremely small concentrations. The concentrations during the day are something like about 1 in a part per trillion, or phases a part per trillion level. So 1 radical in a trillion molecules of air. That's 10 to the 12.
Yeah.
So it's tiny. It's way less than the concentration of ozone. It's about a millionth less than the concentration of ozone in air.
I'll have to do my seconds game with that, because when I'm explaining to people the tiny amount of stuff we're talking about with air quality, I do can anybody here tell me what 1 million seconds is?
Right.
You know, and it's like 12 weeks or something.
Right.
And then 1 billion seconds is 32 years. Like the leap is enormous.
Yeah.
So 1 trillion, I dread to think what we're talking about. It's just tiny amounts of it. Yeah.
Tiny amounts.
But so if it's so tiny, is it important then? Like, is it driving something in the
because
atmosphere?
It's so reactive.
Okay.
It's so reactive that even at small concentrations, it just reacts with almost everything. Okay, so the hydroxyl radical will react with NO2 from combustion, sulfur dioxide, react with carbon monoxide. It will react with methane, albeit a bit slowly. It will react with all of the organic compounds that are emitted from man-made sources like combustion, vehicles, wood burning, industrial uses, home care products, as well as natural sources like vegetation, plants, and so on. So all of these species will react with a hydroxyl radical, and they'll undergo oxidation. And it turns out that the hydroxyl radical reacts, but then is regenerated during the day. So there are various cycles, and so it just goes round oxidizing things, because the atmosphere is like an oxidizer. Okay, it's the nitrogen doesn't do very much, but the 21% of oxygen is really key, because once you start the reaction with a radical, you then get oxidation of species. Okay, so for example, when we emit VOCs, volatile organic compounds, from various sources, could be vehicle exhaust, for example, during the day, when the hydroxyl radical is present, I forgot to say that it's only really present during the day because it's produced from sunlight, the action of sunlight on various chemicals, including ozone.
So it's similar to ozone then. It's a kind of a sun-driven thing.
Yep.
Yeah.